Heads are rolling and prized positions owned by those linked to the asbestos tender deal are being forfeited. The supercars, which were attached to the Blackhead Consulting, owned by Edwin Sodi, were also attached. The NPA, the Asset Forfeiture Unit and the Hawks began their operations in Bloemfontein last week following the court appearance of the 7 accused. They are facing charges of theft and corruption related to the 255 million rand project. The High Court in Bloemfontein granted the Asset Forfeiture Unit a provisional order to freeze the accused assets, including bank accounts worth 300 million rand.
From Friday, most of the work has been to make sure there's an inventory, get all the assets that were declared by the court to be attached by the Asset Forfeiture Unit that involved both movable and immovable assets. So from yesterday, because they could not execute in Johannesburg last week, given the fact that the accused were still in Bloemfontein, so they started with the property in Bryanston, which was attached, but also they are looking for any other realizable asset that can be sold so that the state can be able to recover the money that has been stolen at the end of this asset forfeiture processes.
The NPA says at the end of the process, the assets will be auctioned. The amount accumulated from the sales will return to state coffers. Those who are not listed but have any assets belonging to the accused will also be affected.
Even the ones that I have not mentioned, anyone who has in their possession any of the assets that belong to the accused, that are proceeds of this particular offense, those people must hand over those assets to the state, otherwise they will equally be in trouble.
More arrests are expected.
There's no doubt that more is yet to come. It may not be this week, but however, particularly on the asbestos matter, there must be more accused that are going to be added. There's about 3 more. Before we go to court on the 11th of November, those accused would have been added to the charge sheet. Fortunately, once activities are concluded this week with regards to what happened last week, the investigating team will have an opportunity to finalize issues in that regard. People will be arrested, they will appear in court, and then they will join the others on the 11th of November to complete the charge sheet so that we are able to go for a trial as soon as possible.
7 people face more than 60 charges of fraud, corruption and money laundering. On the 11th of November, 10 people are expected to appear in the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court. Nosipho, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Let's speak to Nosipho now. So Edwin Sodi at the centre of the scandal after his company was awarded the bulk of that tender to identify asbestos roofing that needed to be replaced. But those still living with asbestos roofs say the work was never done properly. Nosipho, let's start with the 3 still to be arrested. Why have they not been arrested so far?
Well, Francis, when I had a conversation with the spokesperson, Sipho Ngwema, he did indicate to me that the NPA as well as the Hawks are still trying to consolidate more information that will help them with their case and with the arrests. They do want something concrete. They do want to feel confident about the case before going into it, as they have said that they are with the 7 other suspects. But they do maintain that by the time they go back to court on the 11th, we will be seeing all 10 of those suspects there. So within a space of this month, they are assuring us that they would have gotten enough information to help them with the case with the other suspects.
All right, and then tell us about today, the seizure fleet of supercars. Tell us about the assets belonging to Edwin Sodi or his company that were attached.
So from what we have seen, I'll start off with what happened this morning, rather. When we arrived around 9 o'clock this morning, we did see a number of cars going in and out of the Blackhead Consulting building, or the offices. Of those cars that we saw about 3 of the luxury cars that we are seeing there in the visuals, one of them being the red Ferrari, the Porsche Cayenne, the Bentley, I'm told, earlier this morning also made its way in and out of the building to be assessed by the curators, as well as several other cars. We saw that about 25 cars are attached to Blackhead Consulting, because that was the focus today. So we did see several other cars coming in and out of the building. I can't really say if there were a total of 25 cars today, but we did see rather several cars going in and out of the offices.
All right, give us or remind us of the background to this asbestos deal. There was a tender for 255 million rand to identify roofing to be replaced. The work reportedly never done, and over and above that, claims of gross corruption.
Yes, Francis. So this tender was awarded, from what we've heard as well, at the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, that it was awarded on in 2015, between 2014 and 2015 rather, where they were awarded over 200 million rand to basically inspect and assess these houses, over 40,000 houses, if I'm not mistaken, that were meant to be assessed in Free State, as well as have the roofs changed. But none of that has been done. From what we've seen in the reports as well, from the Sunday newspapers who have spoken to some of the people who had to have their houses fixed and assessed, some of them just had their houses inspected for less than 10 minutes or so. Some of them were promised that the inspectors would return and assist them with these roofs, and that never happened. So we know that they were awarded, Blackhead Consulting was awarded this tender of over 200 million. They subcontracted that tender to other companies, but still nothing was done to assist those people in that community.
All right, and this all goes to court on the 11th of November. What's expected?
Sipho, the spokesperson, Sipho Ngwema, does say to us that they will be going forth with further indictments. So we'll be hearing each of the charges for each of the suspects that will be appearing before the court, as well as what charges are being brought for the 3 other suspects, because they will be added to the charge sheet as well. So we'll be seeing those suspects as well. We'll be hearing what charges each of the accused are facing, and hear what the steps are going forward for trial.
All right, thank you very much. And she'll stay on top of that story. That was SABC News reporter Nosipho.